Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. So great to have all of you joining us here today. I'm Chrissy Souders, one of your hosts for Women Wednesdays. We are virtual today, and we're excited to talk with you all about unleashing your inner Wonder Woman here with our wonderful guests, Ericka McKibbin and Jennifer Powell with Girls on the Run of the Big Bend. But before we get into our conversation with Ericka and Jennifer and regarding unleashing your inner Wonder Woman, let's go ahead and check in with our founder, Barbara Westcott. Hey, Barbara.
Yep. Hi, I'm Barbara Westcott, founder of Women Wednesdays. What is Women Wednesdays? It's just a collaborative community of women who want to work together to help each other succeed. So get involved with us. Join us at womenwednesdays.com. So back to you, Chrissy.
Back to you.
I love that.
I think the more that we do this, the more we're seeing ourselves more in the screen, like on TV, where they're like, back to you and back to you. But I'm going to go ahead and send it over to Tamara now.
I feel the need to find a microphone and go yes, I'm reporting live from. No, hi, I'm Tamara Smith. I am during the day, I am the regional director of partnerships at a wonderful nonprofit called One More Child. And you can find out more about how to collaborate with us at onemorechild.org. Maybe your organization or your business wants a way to give back, and we can help you find the best way to serve the communities that surround you. So that's onemorechild.org. And I'm also excited to be the co-host coordinator here for Women Wednesdays. So if you would like to be a guest co-host with us, you want to be Jennifer, you want to be Ericka, you want to do this along with us, and you're probably thinking you can help us do this even better, hey, join us, please do. And find out more at womenwednesdays.com. So we're going to get into should I say back to you, Chrissy? Should I do that?
Well, it's so interesting that you bring that up, because the co-hosting thing is going to be a little bit different, and we have some exciting news that will be coming up here. I'll let Barbara go ahead and talk about what I'm talking about in regards to in-person Women Wednesdays.
That's right. So things are kind of clearing up, and I think it's getting to the point that we really can start being in person. So our next in-person event that's going to be coming up is Startup Week. So that happens every year, and we're going to have an event on November 10th, and I'm really excited about it. It's going to be about raising the volume of entrepreneurship, women entrepreneurs, and we need to speak up, be seen, and just be more visible in what we're doing and the contributions that we're making to our economy. So Commissioner Christian Dozier will be there, Kimberly Moore, Abby Queel, but there's going to be other people. So it's going to be at Railroad Square Craft House, and it's going to be a great time. So make sure you show up and share your voice, and let's get loud about women entrepreneurship in Tallahassee.
And I don't know about you, but I'm ready for in-person Women Wednesdays. Can I see some hands here?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And I plan on making a day of it.
Loud. I thought of the J-Lo song, Let's Get Loud. Let's Get Loud.
I was thinking that too. I
would say come hungry to Railroad Craft House, because I'm going to make a day out of that in-person event, by the way. So
that's great.
Just come hungry.
This is all part of taking your seat at the table too, that sort of mentality. But we're the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs, and we need to be there and show up and be loud, but encourage other women too, if that's something that they want to do. And maybe you want to be an entrepreneur, but maybe you want to jump on someone's team or help someone, or maybe you're a lawyer and you want to help with legal services or whatever it is. Know that you're part of the startup ecosystem.
I think that's great, Barbara. There are so many people, women especially, who start out, and both my partner and I, Marsha Warfel, have a consulting firm, and it was the women of this community that helped us launch it. And I know that I've attended many of the Women Wednesday events, and it's always worth the time.
Mm-hmm. And we just have so much mind, power, and talent, and just helping each other succeed. Take that next step, having wind at your back. It makes all the difference in the world. So get involved and check out, go to Domi and check out Startup Week, because it's Women Wednesdays is just one of many events that will be that week. So it's a great opportunity to get connected.
And something that's happening today, speaking of entrepreneurs, there is the Women in Manufacturing event that's happening today at 4 p.m. at Deep Brewing Company. So that sounds pretty exciting, especially since, I'm in manufacturing. So,
and a lot of people don't self-identify as a woman in manufacturing, but there are more women manufacturers than you realize. And so there's some women, there might be women, doing big manufacturing products. Chrissy is part of a big manufacturing operation, but there are also women that are micro manufacturers that are, making a single product. They might be doing it from their home, or it might be a very small operation, but everything you do matters too. So, just know that event is today at 4:00 at Deep Brewing. It's in partnership with the Big Men Manufacturing Association, the Tallahassee Leon Economic Office of Vitality, and Women Wednesdays. So get involved, show up, and I'm sure there's going to be some great beer there too.
That's what I was thinking of. I'm trying to think of what kind of beer do I want to have at 4:00 in the afternoon?
Any beer. It'll be good. It's brewed right in Tallahassee, so it's going to be good.
It always is. It always is. And then also something I'm interested in regards to Women Wednesdays for our last virtual event, fingers crossed, for 2021 is our upcoming next week as well. So let's go ahead and get into that, because I've been watching the Netflix series. Have you guys?
I have watched it. And I know, Chrissy, you started watching it, and Tamara. It is really, I know I'm doing all the talking, sorry about that, but it really and truly is a very powerful and very important subject. And, this is an award-winning series from Netflix, and it was inspired by these two women you see here, Stacy Galbraith and Edna Henderson. And they're from completely different police departments, but there was a string of serial, of rapes. And, there's issues with women being believed or how women are treated in those sort of circumstances. But these women, got together and they collaborated, and that's how, in collaboration with others, but that's how they solved this case. And I think it just speaks to a lot of important subjects. So if you haven't started watching this series, watch it. You won't be sorry that you watched it. You'll learn it off. It starts out kind of rough, but I'm telling you, it will leave you inspired. And join us next week as we have these women, on our show. And it's kind of a neat thing that we have, national figures coming on to be at Women Wednesdays. We're really proud of that. So I hope you can join us next week as we talk to them and learn from them.
And I got through a couple of the episodes already, and I mean, it really shows you another perspective that we don't always see when it comes to these cases. So I like the different perspectives that they're offering, because it makes you look at it differently.
Right. And I think, when it starts out, there is a rape, and, this woman is all alone. And that's, when you're alone, that's when you face some challenges, but there's strength in numbers. And so when women come together, even during difficult things, but also in entrepreneurship or anything or collaboration, there's just strength in numbers, and there's so much we can do to help each other. And I think this show exemplifies a lot of, critically important things. So really looking forward to talking with these ladies next week. But I'm also really proud of them. I mean, imagine that the work you've done, really ends up in an award-winning series. That's pretty powerful, the impact that they've had.
Well, and it's an important message to get out there. I mean, that we have voices, and I think in those circumstances, you feel like it's taken away. And so it's amazing to have role models to show you the path of how you can overcome something like that.
Yeah, and also just having more women in law enforcement also, that's another aspect to this. Mm-hmm. And so if you're women facing, a challenge like that, a rape, and you go into a male-dominated, law enforcement area, that can be a challenge too. That can feel overwhelming. And I think to me, I just think everything is better with more women. Just like any team is going to be stronger if it's a diverse team, but it's just great. But it'll be an interesting show. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Wonder Women in their own right. And we're going to talk more about unleashing your inner Wonder Woman. I know we met many last week as well. So shout out to everybody that joined us at Jim Moran. downtown at the FSU Women in Entrepreneurship event. Our panel rocked it, including our very own Chrissy Souders, who was on the panel.
I think I was a little intense. I get too excited, when I talk about like what I do. And so hopefully it wasn't like too intense.
Don't we all feel that way though? I think sometimes when it's just natural that you feel like, oh, even I just said a minute ago, oh, I'm talking too much. I think, when you're under that sort of microscope, you can kind of feel that way.
But I think it shows your passion. I mean, that's a lot of what, Jen brings that in her role every day as a mom and as the ED of Girls on the Run. But I think that energy is infectious. And it can help others see the possibilities that are out there. And that's really what we try to do through Girls on the Run. And we have so many great stories about what has happened since it was founded.
Yeah, and we've got some great events coming up here. Rabbit Creek Market. They're actually, remember we had Renee Miller on. We had some technical difficulties that day, but still she was on here. And a lot of actually women business owners are going to be housed there at Rabbit Creek Market. So make sure you go ahead and check it out. Their grand opening is, I believe, this weekend. So if you can see that, check it out. Follow them on Facebook. But another wonderful event that's coming up is next week with Girls on the Run of the Big Bend. And so please go ahead and, Girls on the Run of the Panhandle. I always do that. I'm so sorry. I think it changed mid somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Our theme last year was 2021, and we spelled it WON because it was our year that we were going to expand. We were going to serve girls, we were going to raise money, and we were going to fight through one of the toughest times in our organization. But listen, we came on the other side. We conquered 2021 and we're ready for 2022. And we're going to go out with a bang with our Wonder Woman event. We're super excited.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about that, when that's happening. And so everyone that's watching right now can make sure that they can get involved. It's next Thursday, correct?
That is correct. At Leon High School, we're going to be celebrating. So right now it's been going on. First, let me roll back. Tell you, I'm the executive director of Girls on the Run, and I have been able to walk behind the amazing shoes of Ericka McKibbin, who is the founder of Girls on the Run, and started that with the Big Bend, which is why you said that. And so it's been an honor to reel her back in and say, when people say to me, hey, I think I want to do something. If you need any help, I'm like, I'm calling you. So we had our first Wonder Woman event right before COVID happened in 2019. It was a little bit different. And we thought in 2020, how can we keep this as our annual fundraiser, but revamp it? And so that's what we've done this year. And when Ericka said she wanted to jump in, I've been able to say, hey, this is the vision. This is what we want to do. And it's such a blessing that someone's like, I get you without even speaking. And she's been able to execute that phenomenally. And really, it's been super successful seeing all the girls that were nominated and the women in our community. So people in our community nominated Wonder Women that had fantastic stories. You're going to be blown away. People that you might not have even ever heard of. And it goes to show you that there is a lot of silent Wonder Women in our community. That we get to celebrate on our stage next week at Leon High School. So we will find out who the Wonder Woman and Wonder Girl of the Year is, and that has been voted by our community. So we're super excited to celebrate that and to really celebrate what we do at Girls on the Run and why it's so important that any and every girl should be in our program, and women should be involved because we learn something from it too. I mean, that's why I fell in love, because Ericka told me to be a running buddy. And then
I invited you.
Well, when people invite me, I go. And then now I'm stuck here. I can't get out of the seat. So it's such a special program. You'll be able to see that in and on the screen and on the stage next week with Wonder Women from all in the community to share their stories, why we do what we do. And I'm really proud of the work that Ericka's team has done. So I'm excited to see it all in action.
Well, can I have like a one-on-one Girls on the Run?
Sure. So Girls on the Run is a social and emotional program People think when you hear Girls on the Run that it's a running club. And yes, we do run and we love running. If you are a runner, you understand that euphoria and high that you get from it and the growth you get from it. But that's not what we are teaching them. It's really a metaphor for teaching them how do we learn the skills we need to be able to keep moving in life, because life is hard. So we're teaching them to find that inner power, that inner peace, building friendships and confidence from within. And in our community, we're teaching them to serve. We do community projects. And then we run because that's such an important aspect of your health, is to be healthy and learn how to do the full circle of wellness. And so it's a celebration at the end of our season that we run, skip, hop, jump, whatever that looks like for our girls. And we see them cross the finish line. And they're all winners. So we're not a timed race. It's really about teaching them to finish what you started. We set a goal. We said we were going to do it. And we were going to do it together. And that's what we do at Girls on the Run.
I actually attended a Girls on the Run event. I think it was, you said 2019 was the last one, right? It is amazing. That finish line, I think my job as a volunteer was to be at the finish line and pass out the medals and water.
Yes.
And things like that. It is amazing seeing these young ladies and their families. Their parents are there with them. They're crossing together. They're really excited. Talk a little bit about how it also impacts the families of the girls that are involved.
I think it's so special as a mom of a daughter. Our program allows our girls to be in a safe space that they get to communicate with other girls that are having the same struggles, the same worries, the same fears. So as a mom, stepping back and watching my daughter go through a program with someone else, to be able to see her build that confidence because she realized that she wasn't alone, that those fears of being accepted and feeling beautiful and feeling smart and fast and all those things, the girl next to you is feeling the same way. No matter what side of town we live on or where we come from, we all have the same struggles, even as women. And so I think as a mom, looking in and watching her go through our program, it allowed me to see the power of community and another woman inspiring her and teaching her that it's a safe space here. Whatever we say here stays here. Because even, as a mom, my kids don't tell me everything. Believe it or not. And so they share, it's a different side that they get to experience with our coaches, our volunteers in the community, and to be able to do that with other girls that are having the same feelings. It's really, really unique and special.
And some of the stories that I remember about how it impacts families is we would have families that weren't active. But their daughter was committed and wanted to get out there and she wanted to improve. And so we have non-competitive and competitive. You have those athletes that come and those girls are like, running comes later. But what happens with the families is they get inspired by their own daughter. Maybe I need to make some changes. And that was one of what's been really cool is we call them GOTR, so Girls on the Run, shortened to GOTR. Dads are just phenomenal to just see that connection out there and to build that bond that, everyone has different relationships with their parents, but there's something special about that. And so it's been really cool that sometimes the families it's not just the daughter and a running buddy, which could be a family member or a community member, but it's that whole family out there and having that experience of sharing this special moment of celebration and accomplishment. And I just think the transformation is very real. And sometimes those parents become volunteers, which we love, become coaches or running buddies themselves, even if their daughter isn't in the program. So when Jen talks about community, that's what I think about Girls on the Run. It is a safe place for girls to grow and shine and reach for their dreams.
I want to share some comments from the audience right now before we get into our inner Wonder Woman. This is something from Stephanie Bowden, who's watching. Hey, Stephanie. She says she's talking about Jen and Ericka. Their passion beams through everything that they touch, and you want to ride along right there with them. And so that says, yeah, some little hearts. Give us some hearts, you guys. And then Gabrielle, she says, Girls on the Run Panhandle is awesome. I wish I had grown up where there was such a cool organization dedicated to inspiring health and confidence. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for sharing those comments. What do you guys want to say? Anything about what Stephanie and Gabrielle just mentioned?
So as executive director, sometimes it gets lonely and not so fun. So those comments is why I continue to coach when they tell me not to, is because that's what fills your cup and realizes that the work that you do behind the scenes is all worthwhile, and it pays off. And to see girls shine and to see people noticing the hard work is really, really awesome.
And I love both these ladies. They have been supporters since the organization founded, both Stephanie and Gabrielle. Gabrielle actually herself has been a running buddy. And even when it wasn't a Wonder Woman event, she's worn a Wonder Woman costume to some of the 5Ks. I love the spirit. Both of those.
They just all want to wear it anyway. So they just make an excuse to wear a costume, you know?
I know we're going to be talking about unleashing your inner Wonder Woman. So all this month, I've been seeing great stories on Facebook of getting people to nominate women in our community and all of that. So let's go ahead and get into this topic of conversation here with unleashing your inner Wonder Woman. What does that mean?
You want to take the lead, Ericka? Because you read all those amazing applications.
So we could put a call out to the community, and it was about it. Now everyone knows the movie. I mean, the movie's great.
Yeah, we all want to look like her.
I know. I mean, I have Wonder Woman drawing today, so that's where there's my connection. But there's the comic, but it is the spirit of Wonder Woman that we're celebrating. It isn't the comic. It is not the movie. It is the Wonder Woman inside all of us. And what we were thinking about are, what are the values of Wonder Woman? Why do we connect to her? And it is her strength. It is her leadership. It is her hope. It's her compassion. And she is a servant leader. She is there giving back all of the time, countlessly, even when people don't want her to. And I know Jen took photographs of many of these amazing nominees, and their stories are wonderful. And I think in a time when things have been really heavy with the pandemic, and trying to add a spark of hope of that no matter what obstacles you may face, you can still keep moving forward. You can still play a part in the community. And service is a big piece for Jen and I. And so that was an important component as we looked at who would be the next Wonder Women of Tallahassee. We brought in some community judges to help us narrow the field to the finalists. We have 25 finalists, and they come from all walks of life. We have nurses. We have the director of nursing for the state of Florida, who is a nominee. We have the director of Bond Community Center. We have teachers. We have some Girls on the Run coaches. And we have a wonderful woman from the College of Medicine who helped. We were talking about manufacturing earlier, but she really helped figure out a way to manufacture face shields when those were important. So there was everyone.
Emily Pritchett.
Yes, Dr.
Yes.
Pritchett. Yes, absolutely. And then of course our girls. So that's kind of a snapshot of the women, but the girls, we have a middle schooler, an elementary schooler, and as well as some high school students. And Jen, why don't you talk a little bit about your impression when they came for their headshots?
I text Ericka afterwards. I was like, well, first of all, if it was legal for me to hire them, I would hire them. We've got some serious fundraisers. How old is she? Hang tough.
Paloma?
No, Paloma from McClay. She was from McClay. One of the little girls, I can't remember her name. She was fundraising. She'd raised like $15,000.
That was Kerwin Erwin. She has been on a fundraising campaign. Her mom is the executive director of the Foundation, and she is a rock star based on her personal family experience. She wanted to raise funds to help families that were dealing with pediatric cancer, and she did a go bold, go gold, go bold, and in a very short period of time, she raised funds that'll be contributed to 3 different organizations across our community. And I mean, I'm thinking about when I was in middle school. I don't think I was thinking about that.
No, but that's what's unique, and it's really neat to hear these girls talk as part of our program is teaching them, and I think this should be in every single school, is take your kids and serve with you. It is so important that we are passing that along to our children so they can realize the power of service and be leaders, the next leaders in our community. So to hear all these girls that were nominated and the work they're doing at such a young age, and are just so bright and smart, and the experiences they've already had at this age is really, really impressive. I'm so excited to see them.
Well, and I just have to give, all of our girls are amazing, but we actually have an executive director on this list.
Yes.
Kaylin John Luis started her own nonprofit. It's Kaylin's Caring Connections, all K's. And she is just a little powerhouse, very passionate about helping the homeless, does fundraisers and advocacy. And I feel like I shouldn't be talking, but that's just some examples. I mean, they're all fabulous. I could tell you stories about every single one, but that one, you know, kind of made your mouth drop. Wow.
No excuses. If you can do it.
Right. And if, you know, one thing I always like to talk about, Chrissy, I'm sorry if I cut you off, but
I was just going to say, when do they find time for homework? That's all I was going to say.
Well, I think that they serve as great role models too, because one of the things, like I'm always inspired by that statement by Sheryl Sandberg. What would you do if you weren't afraid? Mm-hmm. But I always tweak it. It's like, what would you do if you're afraid, but you did it anyway? And I think probably for a lot of girls, but I think for a lot of women too, you can, you know, you talk about people having different challenges. Sometimes the challenge is your own fear. And you know, somehow if you can master that, I mean, so many things that I do, but I think this is maybe a lot of these girls that are selected as Wonder Women, they might be afraid, but they're doing it anyway.
Yeah.
And then you have impact. And I think putting yourself out there and taking those steps is a big deal, but being in a program like this where you're encouraged to do so is empowering.
Mm-hmm. And it's not that, you know, many times people think, oh, well, they have time, or because of their family circumstances, they can do all of these things. But many of the girls on our list had their own personal challenges, whether it be health or one of them is a personal caregiver, a family caregiver and helps the family. And so I think it's many times it's all the shiny happy that we celebrate, but you know, sometimes it's what's happening despite of those challenges. They still said, you know what, I can still do this. And they all of their hearts are so big. And that's what I've seen with all the girls in the Girls on the Run program. I mean, our coaches, they invest. Jen, how many coaches do we have volunteering this season?
Oh, goodness. Over 75.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's the power of women giving back to women, right? And that's what you guys do here. And I keep seeing your WW in the corner. I'm like, Wonder Women, women.
There's a theme here. Yes.
And I want to reshare this graphic that you have, because this was pretty much based on all the criteria that you just talked about with the girls, the finalists that are girls, with that they show and demonstrate confidence, actions of a purpose, believing you and your voice matter, feeling you can do anything and not doubt yourself, and let your light shine, spread kindness like confetti. I love that one. And then stronger than you think. And so I think that those are definitely some great criteria or attributes that those girls encompass.
And I think too, when Barbara was talking about, doing it anyway, doing it scared is what we like to say sometimes. I think sometimes that we as women and really just anyone, you might doubt the impact that you're going to have. Like you'll think, well, my little part won't be that important. It's not that important if I start my nonprofit, or if I start collecting funds or fundraising for a certain cause, or it's not going to make that much of an impact. But each one of the women and young women that you talked about, they did it anyway. Mm-hmm. And thinking about how many lives they are impacting through their efforts, either through their careers, through their passion projects, through the organizations that they've started, like your voice, like it said in those attributes that Chrissy just read over, your voice and your actions do matter. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and go for it. There is somebody out there waiting for you to do it, to just go for it.
Mm-hmm. And I think especially with girls, and Jen, I want you to jump in here, is in the Girls on the Run program, I think sometimes our girls are waiting for permission instead of just going. And I think by creating that safe space in that team environment whether it's at a community site or in the school, like, I think that's really important, because there are girls that are big and bold and they just go out and do it. But I think Girls on the Run especially helps those girls. Jen spoke about her daughter building confidence over time, but giving them the tools, and then like that team that, your fans behind you saying you can do it. But Jen, I mean, what are your thoughts?
I was just going to say, the idea behind the Wonder Woman, kind of speak to what you both just said, was really, it does mirror our program. It's so, the idea was that someone else is going to see, sometimes we don't always feel like Wonder Women. We just go to the day-to-day. These people are serving because they're called to serve. They want to make an impact, not because they wanted to be labeled as the Wonder Woman, but someone else saw that power. And in our program, that's what we do. I don't believe today I would be in an executive director's position. I didn't see myself as that Wonder Woman. Not that I didn't feel that I brought value or skill or things to the program, but I didn't see myself there. But someone else did. And someone else said, let me tell you, I believe in you and you are going to do amazing things. And I said, wow, sometimes we don't have that power in us at the moment to believe it, but it's our job to tell someone when we notice that. And so we're lifting them up, and then we're igniting that fire. Like, you know what, if she says I can, then as long as someone believes in me when I can, and she's given me that strength, then I can go out and do great things. And so that is really why we're so passionate about the program, why Wonder Woman exists, because we're doing the exact same thing in our program. And it's really special that people in our community, we're seeing these women doing things silently and not being celebrated. And now we get to celebrate that next week.
So I wish I had pump up music, because I want to get into the finalists. I know we saw the girls, but we'll do the pump up music and go through the finalists for the 2021
Yay!
Wonder Woman Awards. And here they are for the girls again. So tell us a little bit about Gabrielle, Caitlin, Grace, Kate, Paloma, and Sophia.
So Gabrielle Bowden is actually, her mom is in the chat, Stephanie, and Gabrielle, rock star. In her nomination form, she's just someone who is always there to help, especially for younger girls. She's in middle school. She serves just like her mom, and Jen was talking about it. Wherever her mom goes, she goes, and she's done everything from helping with farm shares to collecting donations for Christmas. So she is just a servant leader all the time. And she does have a family that supports that. So she had a long resume of things that she does to give back to the community. Jen, would you have anything else to say about Gabrielle?
She's a GOTR graduate many times over. So she has fallen in love. And that's what's really cool to see our girls say, you know what, I had so much fun. I want to go again. We have multiple curriculums so they can experience our program 3 times with a completely different experience. And it's like anything, when you listen to it more than once, you get something else out of it. So she is definitely a diehard.
Yep. And we've already talked about Caitlin Irwin. She was our Be Bold, Go Gold, raising $15,000. And Kaylin, we talked about her doing amazing things in the community to help homeless. She also has an event coming up to support. It's a community-wide event where she's trying to get youth out that serve as caregivers to raise awareness about how kids play a role in helping their families. Grace Kerwin is actually at Leon High School, and she and I don't know exactly, but there was a medical condition that she had to overcome. And with that, she then had a passion to help others. And so she's really involved with the dance marathon and has raised a lot of funds and awareness with those efforts at Leon. Kate, I know you might, that name sounds familiar, doesn't it? I don't know. But Kate is, I can't say enough about Kate, but she was a GOTR coach. So some people may not know this, but if you are, Jen, is it 15 or 16, I think, to be a junior coach. So you can come out and get your volunteer hours giving back to girls if this sounds fun to you. But she's done that. She also brought a program to the area with her friends called Letters to Rose. So during the pandemic, you know, there's a lot of social isolation, but it even was felt even more for individuals in nursing homes and assisted living facilities. And so it's like a pen pal program with local seniors. She connects volunteers to send positive messages and thoughts of love to our seniors. Paloma Rambana is a powerhouse. She is a staunch advocate for helping individuals with visual impairment. And she herself is legally blind. And she helped raise over $1 million through the legislature to help bring resources to specifically target the tools needed by young people. She's written 2 books. I mean, Jen, you got to meet her as well.
She's impressive. It's very impressive.
So she is a rock star. And then Sophia is from Holy Comforter. We have a mother-daughter nomination. I see a note. Paloma is from McClay School. So all our McClay families, give a shout out to Paloma. But Sophia and her mom are both nominated. So we have a Wonder Girl and a Wonder Woman in one family. And Sophia has been recognized again and again. Every year, her mom told me the story. She saves up her allowance. And in the summer, so she doesn't ask her mom for anything, but she specifically supports the TMH Foundation for their pediatric units. And she buys little care packages. So when they come in, they have something to do, whether it's a stuffed animal or crossword puzzle or whatever it is. She fills it with things that she likes, that she thinks other kids would like. And I think just to be outward focused at such a young age speaks to Sophia's heart, but also kind of what was instilled in her. And I think Sophia, Jen, isn't Sophia a Girls on the Run?
She is. I coached her. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they're great. I mean, I feel like a proud mama, and they're not even mine. Well, the rest of them are.
And now we have our women finalists. So we've got a good group of women. Yeah, round of applause.
To remember all of the things about all of these ladies.
Just an overall.
Yeah, an overall.
Overall, we've got a mix of people working with seniors. So Lisa Brutz is the executive director of Advancing Aging Solutions, which is our local area agency on aging. Shannon Colivecchio is with the Moore Group, phenomenal community champion. She's a member of KCCI. For anyone who knows her, passion for fostering puppies and making sure that they're have a safe place and a safe home. But and then she fostered 2 boys who now have become her adopted sons. So she's got a really big heart on doing good things in the community. Nikki Darling is with DCF, and she does great work. She sits on several boards in the community, including the Southern Shakespeare. And I'm not going to remember all of them. Lisa Davis, you probably know her. She's Image by Lisa, really kind of a health champion and giving back in ways. We've got Tiffany Davis, who, by the way, current standings, if we're going to talk about standings, which we'll hear a little bit more, but that is the top of the list as far as votes go. She is a teacher at Childs, teaches nursing, their nursing certificate program, but also does works on the weekends with TMH surgical and something else too. So, and she's a single mom doing all of that all at once. Casey Grisby, she is with the National Association of Proton Therapy. Man, you're testing me, you guys. But she's really involved with Youth Leadership Tallahassee, and everyone who says they meet her, she is someone that is always the connector, always trying to create more opportunities. Tiffany Hamilton, she's a realtor in the community, but also sits on the Oasis Center for Women, for Girls, really pro-women. Most of her firm are females, and she really inspires you to do more and be more. I'm trying not to. I feel like I have to.
You don't have to. We see them all, and I think we all know many of these women personally, and know that they're all phenomenal women. I know that some have even been part of the Women Wednesdays community. We've got some feedback from some of our people watching. Gabrielle, she says, there's so many phenomenal Wonder Women and girls on the list. I cast about 80 votes so far.
Yay!
For different people.
Well,
and speaking of votes, go
voting.
ahead and let us know how one can vote and choose the Wonder Woman for 2021.
Jen, do you want to take it?
Sure. There's the link right there. You click on it. You get to see all their pretty pictures and a little summary bio about each of them. Obviously, you're going to vote who you already went on there to vote for, but you can vote for them. It's $1 per vote. So helping them become the Wonder Woman of the Year takes $1 or more. You could do 80, like Gabrielle just said. So that's great. And then we will see it closes. How many, is it 30 minutes before we start?
No, I decided that was too close for a presentation. So voting will close at 5, which is an hour
5 o'clock.
It starts. At first, in theory, I thought that would be great. I'm like, no.
A little pressure. So they can go on there and vote. And then that is where our money goes, is to go back and serve our Title I schools right here in the Leon County area. So 50% or more of our schools this fall are from dollars that we've raised in the community. So it's so important that we serve the people that really can't afford or can't experience it without being sponsored. And it's such a phenomenal experience. We actually have one of the Wonder Women on there that has been our longest standing coaches for over 13 seasons at Astoria Park. And she's been on the news with me many times, for her to tell the experience that these girls get and what they benefit from the program is so special. And so if you want to come and check it out and hear it in person, you can see that night who wins, and hear from some of these amazing women.
Well, this is sort of something that I want to continue with what you're saying, but I also just want to say, I noticed that you're using a technology that helps you fundraise and vote. And I think, one of the things on Women Wednesdays I hope we do is share, information like that. I mean, I didn't know about that particular technology, but that's a great fundraising opportunity at the same time that you're honoring these women.
I would say it's not my idea. I actually was inspired by Shannon when she was doing the dog nominations for the cover for the Humane Society. And I was like, oh, this is cool and this is easy. So it was their idea first.
It's no, but I mean, I'm just saying these are little tips that we can pick up
Yes.
from each other to help. I just think that's pretty cool. I want to point that out.
Awesome. Thank you.
And look at all these amazing businesses that are supporting women in our community. So shout out to all the sponsors that I see here for the Wonder Woman Awards night, November 4th. Tell us, I know we spoke a little bit about that at the beginning, but let's go ahead and just remind people about what's happening November 4th.
November 4th, we will find out who the Wonder Woman and Wonder Girl for next year will be. And so they will serve as our Wonder Woman ambassadors until we do this all over again next year. We'll be celebrating them. You'll get to hear from some of our girls with some Q&A. We will have our slides so you can see all the amazing Wonder Women, some performing, some dancing. It's really going to be a celebration. And then we have some really cool videos that you're going to be able to see girls that have experienced our program and where they are today. So it's going to be a phenomenal night.
Very cool. Well, and you're inviting everyone to come as well too. I see that.
Yes, absolutely. Please come hang out with us. We're going to have food and Wonder Woman punch because we are on Leon County school grounds. We will not be serving alcohol. You can pretend.
No, you can get that today at Deep Brewing for the women.
There you go.
There you
Get it
go.
before you go.
Wait, this conversation just went somewhere.
Sorry. I had to let people know. Don't be coming for the alcohol.
Well, I have a question. So, Ericka, you're the one who started this chapter in. That would be what I would call it as a chapter for
The
girls on the
council.
road. The council.
Mhm.
And you're the one that started this in Tallahassee.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that? How did you start it? How did that come about?
Oh my goodness. I was running a half marathon down in Clearwater. And I was in the race festival afterwards, and there was a Girls in Run tent set up. And I said, what's that? That looks fun. And they told me about it, and they said, well, it's about girl empowerment. It's about running and fitness and being healthy, and then giving back to your community. I'm like, that checks all my boxes. Like, those are my 3 things in life that I try to do and walk every day. And so I contacted International to see, because they didn't know if there was one in Tallahassee, and there wasn't, but there was a young woman who was trying to bring it here. And, I feel like in life, you are brought to certain places and people for a reason. And she was in a situation, I was helping her, and it wasn't the right time for her. And I was actually getting married. It was my wedding day. And I got a phone call from her, and she said, I can't do this. Can you take it over? You have the passion for it. And I said, yes, I can absolutely do that. And I was able to bring together, I didn't do it by myself, and we don't do it by ourselves with Girls on the Run. This phenomenal group of women and men who thought this is what our community needs. And the national office for Girls on the Run, because it is an international program that's been around for over 25 years, they have always had interest from this community, and we are running a community. So I knew that aspect of it is, but we're also, you guys are building this every day with Women Wednesday, a women-powered community that we need to create more places for women and girls to shine and grow and be successful. And it took us, we had to submit an application to get approved, but it took us about a year to get it off of the ground from when we started. And we started small. We had 2 sites and 8 coaches and 25 girls. And I will never forget the first 5K. Every 5K is special, but there is something special about the original group. And what's kind of neat, so we are about giving girls leadership roles. One of our alumni was part of that first team that we had over at DeSoto. She's going to be one of our MCs at the event. So it's really amazing to be in the community and see these girls continue to grow. And running may not have been their passion, like that doesn't stick, but they found other passions and are doing good things and being successful. So I won't say it's easy. We all know it is like building a business. Some people, it's a nonprofit. No, it's not.
It's a bit, yeah, it's a lot of, right.
And, but I think it's the people. The people made it happen. There was a desire, and it's just grown from there. And Jen has fulfilled, my legacy and is growing and making it bigger and better. I mean, now we're the panhandle. Like, that's amazing. And to be doing that during a pandemic, I just have to do super shout out to Jen and the board and all the volunteers that made that possible, to be able to be nimble enough and resilient enough to come the other side stronger. And I couldn't be happier. I mean, that's what everyone hopes.
And then Jennifer, when did you take this over and become the executive director?
Let me think. It's a whirlwind. When you're in the nonprofit world, you're like, what day is it? It's been almost 3 years now. So I'm super excited. I came in right before we took a season off, came in right before COVID. We were prepping 6 months before, rebuilding, and then expanded everything. So this is actually my first 5K full season without interruption. And we'll do that over in Bay County and in Leon County here in December. So I'm really excited to see all the things that have been in storage for a very long time and all the visions come to life. It's going to be exciting.
Right. But I mean, you guys are, continuing, like you said, this legacy of this impact for women and girls. So I applaud you for that. That is just so wonderful. And again, our mission is to become a #1 city for women, and all the different things that everybody is doing is so impactful. So thank you. And like Chrissy, I don't know if you can pop up that slide for #1 city for women, but I want to thank Jennifer. I mean, we're doing a campaign to make Tallahassee a #1 city for women, and it involves a photo campaign. And there's just been some amazing women across the community that are professional photographers that have helped with that. And we're just so appreciative. So and it's continuing. More and more women photographers are becoming a part of this, and we're going to keep it going. But Jennifer, thank you so much for your work in that and helping continue this important work. Both with Girls on the Run and Women Wednesdays, we're just so appreciative.
Thank you. It's an honor.
And then also, I'm going to go ahead and bring up the how to get connected with you all with Girls on the Run Panhandle now. And so I'll bring that slide back up here once I get my technical issues working. There we go. Okay, so Wonder Woman voting site. That is what you need to do in order to vote. And then also get your tickets now. And Girls on the Run Panhandle, if you want to learn more about Girls on the Run Panhandle, go ahead and look them up online. Well, thank you so much for being here today. I had a lot of fun, and I actually, I've learned a lot. I mean, I felt like I knew a lot about Girls on the Run Panhandle, but now I feel like I've learned quite a bit more. So that's very cool how resilient you guys have been during this pandemic.
Thank you.
And I would encourage everyone to get involved with Girls on the Run of the now Panhandle. It's just an awesome experience. And so, and I'm sure you need help in several different ways. So if there's a way that you can get involved and help, our city will be a #1 city for women if we make it a #1 city for girls as well. So let's plant the seeds and build the foundation and help them out. You're doing great work, and we thank you for it. And now, when I volunteered back then, I didn't have a girl of my own, but one day, maybe my baby girl is also joining you.
We can't wait.
How old is she now? I mean, how is she?
Oh, she's doing great. She's a big whopping 3 months this week.
3 months.
Yay.
A whole 3 months old.
She's totally ready to run.
But she has little Nike onesies, so she's just waiting for her opportunity.
That's awesome.
I want to share some comments from everyone watching. Arlene says, what a great opportunity for our young girls and women. Thank you. Thank you, Arlene, for sharing that. And then also Brandy, she says, thank you, Jen and Ericka, for your leadership.
For your leadership, Brandy.
Well, this has been a lot of fun. I want to go ahead and just say, again, thank you so much. And I hope it's a really big turnout for you all next Thursday, and excited to see who wins.
Me too.
Of course, they're all winners.
That's right.
And I will tell you, if you're curious who's winning, the site updates. It's live. It's instantaneously. So you could check in the morning and check in the afternoon. I won't say that I do it. Yes, I do that. Things change. So if your favorite finalist isn't where you want them to be, go ahead and you can check in and give them another vote.
That's just a wonderful. I love this. So thank you again for everything. Thanks for all that you do, and thanks for making this just a great community for women and girls. So just recap that next week on Women Wednesdays, it's going to be one of our last purely virtual events, but it's going to be Stopping a Serial Rapist Through the Power of Collaboration, featuring the two women, the investigators who were responsible for bringing a serial rapist to justice. And it's just a powerful Netflix series. Please start watching it. You won't be sorry, and you really learn a lot and be inspired. And then the week after that, just a reminder, on November 10th, or that whole week, it's Tallahassee Startup Week, and we're going to have a great event, and it's going to be in person at Railroad Square Craft House with Kristen Dozier, Kimberly Moore, Abby Keel, and others. So we can't wait to all be together again.
I can't wait to get out from this little box that we've been in for the last 2 years.
Very good. Well, everybody,
and then that's also an opportunity for everyone to join in on the Women Wednesdays every week and be a member as well.
Yep, just go to womenwednesdays.com, sign up, be a member. We'd love to have you be a part of what we're trying to do. So everybody have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week.
I just want to say there will be alcohol there.
Yes.
You had to say that, huh?
Yes, it will be. It'll be, but it's a great. If you haven't been to Railroad Square Craft House, I mean, has everybody here been there? It's an awesome place, and it's like an indoor-outdoor venue. It's very safe to be together, but be able to spread out, and just a real festive opportunity to connect. So we're looking forward to it.
Well, thank you everyone so much for joining in on the conversation today, and we'll see you all next week for what we're hoping to be our last virtual Women Wednesdays of 2021. Everyone have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Bye.